All right. Specialized, Canyon, Savello. I mean, those are hot bike brands, right? And everybody's talking about those bikes, right? But my question is anybody riding Scott bikes? Like, is anybody riding Scott bikes? I don't hear nobody talking about Scott bikes. It's like a small little crowd of very select few people that's talking about it. And the bike I'm talking about specifically, it's the Scott Foil Ultimate. Dude, that's a badass bike. It looks beautiful, man. No one's talking about this bike, man. And the thing about the Scott bike, like I'm very interested in the carbon layup because Specialized has their different levels of carbon. You got like the 10R and the 12R. The Scott, they have the HMX SL carbon layup, and I don't know anything about it, but just the name of it, man. HMX SL, it sounds kind of dope, bro. It sounds kind of dope, but I'm very interested in this bike and I've been looking at it for a while. And I don't know if you're following my guy, Patrick Lano. And if you're not, you need to be following this guy. He does a lot of Chinese bike buildups, right? And he recently got a China bike frame and it looks very, very, very similar to the Scott Foil bike. I mean, it's a pretty dope frame and I'm kind of interested to see like what the full build's going to be and get his feedback on that actual bike, right? But anyway, kind of dropping back to the Scott, right? Not only is the Scott bike dope, the thing that really made me look more into this bike is Scott just released their new wheel set. And if you haven't seen it, it is the Syncros Capital SL. Syncros Capital SL. And dude, this wheel is dope. I don't have any specs on the wheels, but just looking at the way they're designed and the way they are made, I've never seen a wheel look like this before. And the way the design is, the way it's kind of got like it's like a matte black, and then it has kind of like a gloss black. It's a two-tone black theme, but the way the kind of lines go on the wheel, it kind of remind me of the Reynolds, man, of the ARXs. And the decals on the ARX joints, them joints is fire, man. But them SL wheels, dude, I'm interested in that too. I don't know when these wheels are going to be available. They really just came out. Because right now, if you go on the Scott website, right, if you wanted to get a Scott Foil Ultimate, they have the bikes on there and they're in stock. But if you get the top of the line joint, it doesn't even come with those wheels. It comes with, I want to say it comes with like the Zips, the Zip 303s or the Zip 404s. And if I did purchase that bike, I would want the new carbon wheels. I want the Capital wheels on there. So I don't know when those Capital wheels are going to be released to like the public. I got to do some more research on them, but I just seen it today. And when I was looking at the pictures of them, I was like, man, I don't hear nobody talking about this wheel. And it's a dope looking wheel. Like I said, the way the spokes kind of blend into the wheel, man, that is hot, bro. And speaking of wheels, right? The Capital wheel is a wheel that I'm interested in. And another wheel that I'm interested in is the reserve wheel. And you've seen this wheel. It's out. It's in the wild. And Jumbo Visma, they are running this wheel, right? The thing that has me interested with the reserve wheel is that I love the aesthetics of it. It's just sleek. It's clean. It's just got like a little reserve logo that's by the valve stem. And I believe you could take that little sticker off. And speaking of stickers, I'm a sticker, I'm a decal guy. So if I got that wheel, man, I like that it's plain because I could put whatever decal I want on there, right? But besides it being like a plain aesthetic look, that isn't the thing that really, really, really got me interested in it. What got me really interested in it is the specs of it. The reserve wheels, the internal width is insane. The front wheel is 25 wide. The rear wheel is 24 wide. That's got to be the widest wheel on the market right now. If anybody knows of wheels that are a wheel set that's wider than that, please let me know. Like my wheels are wide as I don't know what, right? One of the reasons I've been running my Bontrager wheels, right? And I'm running the Pro 51s and the RSL 51s, right? One of the main reasons why I've been rolling that wheel is because the internal width. The internal width on both sets of my wheels are 23, man. 23 ride, I'm tubeless gang and I'm running the 30s, man. 30s give me 60 psi under. tubeless, and I just want to be comfortable, right? So knowing that's my style, my kind of personal preference of riding, right? If I had that reserve wheel, dude, a 25 wide with a 30 tire on there, ooh, that jump would look dope, man. I really been like looking at that wheel because I'm super, super interested in it. And I've been having like this itch for a new bike, and I'm kind of on the fence about a couple things. The two bikes I'm interested in right now, like I said, it's the Scott Foil Ultimate. It's the Scott Foil Ultimate or that Cervelo S5. And they're both badass bikes, man. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of itching more towards or leaning more towards the Cervelo S5. And the reason why is because the Cervelo S5 just gives me everything that I want. I love the aesthetics of it. I love the bar and stem setup. It's got the reserve wheels on there. I think the only thing that bike doesn't have or that you might have to put on there is the power meter. And I'm pretty sure you can find a configuration of the S5 that comes with a power meter. But that Cervelo S5, man, oh man, it is a very, very, very dope bike. And speaking of Cervelo, big shout out to Jumbo Visma, man, for winning stage 16 in the Tour de France. Because you know we got to talk about the tour, right? So I'm a TT guy, man. I came from a TT background. I absolutely love TT bikes. I love watching TT races, but Team Jumbo Visma, they put the work in today. Listen, they absolutely crushed stage 16. The guy won by a plus 138. Dude, a minute and 38 seconds. That's a lot of time in a time trial, bro. That's a lot of time in a time trial. And one of the things I found that was very interesting, it was kind of dope at the same time, right? Most of the time when I'm seeing like these fast TT stages and the time trial races, they are exclusively on time trial bikes. They weren't all on time trial bikes. Some people opted for the road bike. And I was like, that's very interesting. And even more interesting than riding a road bike during a TT event, some people actually swap bikes. Because towards the end of the course, starts going uphill. Man, some people was hopping off that TT bike and then hopping on the road bike, like a climbing bike, and taking off. I was like, wow, that's pretty dope. And I wish I could show you the footage of this, but I can't because YouTube is bad. I ain't on video, take it down. But there was one part where I forget what team it was, but he did a bike change and got off the TT bike and then got on the climbing bike. And the change was so sloppy, man. It was so sloppy. In my opinion, I probably, because I know they got the little radio, I'd have been like, hey, bro, I want to swap this bike. I need the team car to go ahead, maybe a couple meters up, take the bike off the rack and have it ready so I can hop off the TT bike and go. But it was nothing like that. Like he's literally on the TT bike. He's like, okay, I think I need to climb a bike. He's looking back. He's like, he's trying to flick him through. Hey, bro, I need the bike. I need a bike. It was so sloppy. But by the time he got it done, I think he only lost like 2 or 3 seconds. So it wasn't really really too bad. But yeah, big shout out to Jumbo Visma for crushing it on the TT bike. And hey, if you were liking the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Y'all know this is another episode of CycleTalk, and I'm your host, Mr. Robb Armstrong. But like pushing this out a little bit more, right? TT bikes. Who is riding TT bikes? I love talking about TT bikes. Nobody's riding TT bikes, man. If you are not riding a TT bike, please tell me why. Please tell me why. Drop it in the comments. Tell me why you're not riding a TT bike. Have you never tried it? Are you not interested in it? You can't tell me that a TT bike isn't aesthetically pleasing. It just looks fast, bro. Whenever I see my TT bike, I just feel like, that joker fast. That's what I think about every time I see it, right? So if you're not riding a TT bike, please let me know why you're not riding a TT bike. And if you are riding a TT bike, what TT bike are you riding? I really want to know that, because if it was up to me and I could have any TT bike I wanted, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into that because that's a whole nother thing. That's gonna be another episode of CycleTalk, and I'll talk about TT bikes exclusively. But that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm Robb Armstrong, and I am out.